Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I promised Friday's Overwatch gameplay and here it is. So, first I'll explain how this video is going to be structured. It's a little bit more different than how I used to do it before. I used to just have the videos running in the background and write down important things. I'm pretty sure I just watched them in one go when they came out and just remembered important stuff. But I'll discuss the pre-videos that have come out. I've analysed the video, I've been writing down quotes and been putting them in bullet points, and at the end of this video I'll be doing a breakdown of the entire lore, including the parts that I've added to this theory today. I'm doing a video. Sorry everyone, that's my dad. I'm theorising about a 3 AM channel. Right, so I will make another theory video if they upload 3 more videos, which I assume they already have ready, considering the fact that they've been gone for 5 days until now. And when they hit 2.998 mil or 2.98 mil, and when the 3 mil surprise comes out, I'll also have a video out then. If you haven't watched all the theories, there will be a playlist on my channel once this video is up, including this one. Anyway, on to the first video. So, a lot happens in this first episode, and I have about 75 bullet points explaining tons of things. I don't really have 75 bullet points, but I have a lot. So, first bullet point is, at the very start of the episode, Edward kisses a Power Ranger toy. So, most of this episode, from what I believe in, hints at future characters, future EXE characters that are going to pop up in the future. The one that I think it's hinting at here is a Power Rangers episode in the future. Bullet point number 2. So, I mentioned in my last theory video that Nicole is working with EXEs. If it's not obvious enough from the proof that I put out last video, she says they're doing crazy things with technology these days, Edward. My theory is that the EXE characters are computer code that can take physical forms, and I'm pretty sure that's what she means by they're doing crazy things with technology these days. And then just after that, she says you wouldn't get it because she truly knows the truth and Edward doesn't somehow. Why is he the most oblivious person? Now why is he? I'm pretty sure I already said that, but. Yeah, how does he not know at this point? Point is, she can't say directly about the computer code or tell her that she's working for them. Just say, yeah, they're doing crazy things at technology, right? Bullet point 3. So, after Edward opens the envelope from Dora, Edward begins to explain his sad middle school story. How on Valentine's Day, he never got a note off a girl. Probably because he made a Thomas the Tank Engine joke. I get that though. Middle school sucks. Because I have got through it, and I am currently on my 6 weeks holiday, and I've only got a day and a week left until I have to go into high school, and it's going to be horrible. Anyway, always good to get some Edward character development. Keep it up. Bullet point 4. So in the scene afterwards, he gets a riddle which leads him to what I'm going to call the Shrine Room. It doesn't have an official name at the moment, so I'm just going to call it the Shrine Room. And Edward begins listing off times he met alternative characters in the Shrine Room, which partially debunks my theory that that he loses memories until that same character appears again. But here he mentions Luca and boyfriend. Luca gets mentioned, but boyfriend doesn't, which makes me think certain runes can bring back certain memories. Well, that's what I got from it, at least. Bullet point 5. Nicole says at 6:18 of the video, this seems like where all the characters get together. Now, that is something that I said a multitude of times, like talking about the server. But she does know the truth because she works for them, and she knows that they have the server deep and hidden on Edward's computer. Bullet point 6. First of all, in the scene where they actually go into the shrine room, you can spot bald guy hidden in the curtain in the scene. When they enter the shrine room. And second of all, you'll spot the very large, obvious red blood red help on the wall, which links to the title of the segment. Dora who? Dora, from this episode, is indeed a backup. That is actually the character you know well. Agent Daniel from Keepers of the Grave. So you may think I sound crazy. You may think I sound like a madman. But hear me out. On my last video, I talked about the sudden disappearance of the KGA. I even mentioned that we have to wait and see what happened to Agent Daniel in the next Dora episode. And lo and behold, when I came back from holiday, a Dora episode, and big red subliminal message on the wall. It's Agent Daniel crying out for help from Edward and Nicole because he's been turned into a backup Dora, the exact one we see in this episode. Bullet point 7. So at 17:03 of the video, they encounter the Postmates guy drinking the Dora potion. Well then, I guess Dora isn't Agent Daniel. Sorry guys, no, I'm right. The Postmates guy is the one who puts on the costume for the video, but he isn't the canon Dora we see in this episode. He is the imposter, not the EXE kind. I don't mean it's the imposter EXE in a disguise. No, it isn't. He must be voted out. Also, there's a very important thing he says. He mentions a creepy guy in a trench coat. Who do we know that wears a trench coat, who is male, and is in the room next door to him? Yep, Luca. I even mentioned about a Luca and Dora team up last episode. And it came true, with him giving the Postmates guy the note and accidentally giving Edward a memory back with the shrine room. So, at 18:45, Ed and Nikki encounter a note with a Freddy Krueger song in it. It's obviously hinting at Dora by saying she's coming for you. Yeah. But I think this is hinting that a Freddy Krueger EXE character in the future. This episode hints a lot about future characters, and I've already said that. And there's tons of characters we haven't met yet, and we just haven't discovered them yet. So, bullet point 8. Everyone finds a machete in the mystery box left by Daniel Dora. Yes, that's what I'm going to be calling him. Which hints at another character that's linked to Freddy Krueger, and their main weapon happens to be a machete. Yep, Jason Voorhees. Another character is hinted in that mystery box, which is Mario, because he gets a Nintendo system, and who's mostly linked with Nintendo? Yes, Mario. We have 3 characters that are being hinted at, aka Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Mario Jumpman Mario. The last thing in the mystery box that's important to the lore is the note. It's never translated by Nicole or Edward, and so I took to Google Translate. Yes, I'm actually serious about figuring out lore for the channel. If you couldn't tell already, I've made 3 videos that are actually decently lengthy, and the notes app that I'm using to write down this script, it has all the scripts of the previous episodes, so I can always go back and check on my scripts, and I can also go back and check on my old videos if that's so what I choose. Anyway, it translated to "Hello, dumb bums." That's you know what I'm really trying to say. Eat my eggs. This is then followed up by Daniel Dore appearing behind Edward, taking him to the kitchen and covering him in croutons. Now, croutons can be combined with eggs to make scrambled eggs, meaning that Daniel Dore lost his mind from becoming a backup and was going to scramble up Edward and serve him to the EXEs to escape this eternal hell. Anyway, that's the end of the segment. Onto the Space Jam 2 movie.
Enemy turret destroyed.
So, I'll explain the title when we get there. Funny thing, I don't. I will. Bullet point 1. Edward gets a bit more development at the start, stating that he's an Allen Iverson fan, even having his jersey, which sadly, unlike the Michael Jordan jersey, does not give him pro basketball skills. Bullet point 2. Nicole is vegan, giving her a bit more personality than the fact she works with the EXEs. Bullet point 3. Bald Guy makes his grand return with a box of Eggos, and his interactions with Edward in this episode are extremely cute, treating Bald Guy like a son, and it's very cute, and you can see the difference between Bald Guy and Edward's personalities. Bald Guy being laid back but also being very cool at the same time. Well, Edward is very shouty and loud and doesn't care for his carpet, as he drops his drink on the floor while Bald Guy places it on the table politely. Bullet point 4. Nicole is an alcoholic. If I was saying shouldn't you be drinking a more adult beverage? And in the Door episode, Edward mentioned she drinks tequila, which is made from 40 to 50% alcohol, and in the US, 80 to 100% alcohol. So after the movie ends, bullet point 5. So after the movie ends, Bald Guy disappears, which finally links to the title of the segment. So I mentioned that in the last Space Jam episode, Bald Guy made it back so quickly. So I said that he inherited some powers from the EXEs. Because of that, I think one of his powers is to sense the difference between a clone and an actual EXE character. That's why I wasn't afraid in the Luca potion. But when the real Luca showed up, he was actually scared. Anyway, I said clone. So who is the clone? None other than Agent Gabriel or Nutty D, who was last seen in the Chuck E. Cheese video. Similar to his partner, Agent Daniel, who was the clone Door, and was last seen in the Door episode. So Gabriel Cheese, that's not going to be his name, I've changed it so much. And Bald Guy make a pact and decide to test Edward to see how strong he is with a half-court shot. Because Chuck G. Cheese has already experienced Edward's powers, so he wants to test it once more. Bald Guy calls Edward under the name LeBron James, and can't hold the call long because he has trauma of almost dying, which they do actually mention, so it's nice to know they are keeping consistency between the episodes, especially since I've been theorizing. And of course, Edward, being the paranormal investigator he's an actual paranormal investigator. If he gets sucked into this, you'll see in the you'll see in the breakdown. Anyway, Edwards go down to see the Bugs Bunny / clone Chucky, and finds moving stuff, which he thinks is Chuck E. Cheese's, but it's actually Bald Guy's stuff. Anyway, they do the test, and Edward fails, because, as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have the powers like before, and Clone Cheese attacks Edward in the same fashion as Bald Guy. We never see it, but Bald Guy saves Edward and breaks the pact. That ends this section, onto the final, and hopefully shortest section. So, this part may be a little bit confusing, because this part has no bullet points. So this is going to be one massive paragraph of me explaining my theories. Also, if you've been hearing clicking throughout some of the parts, so I have like this Power Rangers fidget toy that I've had for like 10,000 years. And I play with it, even though I'm meant to be doing a video. Anyway, on to the explanation. So, to explain the title, I have a theory that Lissy Noel, who, like Nicole, had a deeper connection to Chuck E. Cheese, has a bigger role to play in the most recent episode as of writing. The theory goes like this. Lissy Noel randomly disappeared, similar to Dan and Gabe. She still uploads on her channel, but it isn't canon to the story. We know Dan and Gabe turned into Dora and Chuck E. Cheese backups respectively. So you may assume that Lissy is also a backup. No, I think she's a mastermind with the EXEs, like Nicole. She works with the EXEs, and her reasoning is much more foolish. She's trying to win back Chuck E. Cheese. She tries to do this by cursing the pizza they got with a potion that makes Edward convince Nicole to eat it, but he breaks free. It scares Nicole, and she hopes that Chuck E. Cheese thinks she's tough and Nicole is a wimp. It doesn't work, so she hacks the animatronics, so when they get tampered with, they all shut off. But then Edward puts his hand in Helen's mouth, which scares Nicole, and then them all turning off at the same time scares her more. But once again, Chuck E. Cheese is unfazed, looking scared for Nicole. Point is, Lissy Noel is out for revenge, and I don't think she's quite done yet. That's my theory on Lissy Noel. The reason why I haven't talked about her in the past episodes, I thought of her as a filler character, something for the funny. This recent episode did make me think. Sadly, Bald Guy does not appear, so no theory on him. But Edward in the scene, after he breaks free of the pizza curse, says something that proves one of my theories, hence why it says theory proven in the title. The Lissy Noel theory isn't proven, but this one practically is. So this proves one of my theories from my first video. I felt like something was taking over my soul from eating that pizza. That's the exact quote from the video. So my theory was, when Edward eats cursed food, it's extremely potent with a character's soul. For example, a boyfriend, when he made the McDonald's meal, it is so much more potent than the potion, a drink. And I said that the character tries to take over his soul, which is basically what I said. I'm not sure if this is saying Helen is an EXE character. I doubt it is, because she doesn't even hurt Edward. He just uses the ketchup packet. And I don't think it's Chucky either, because he cares for Nicole and wouldn't want to harm her. It's good to know that Edward and Nikki are taking tidbits from both lore videos. But Edward, you no longer need to do that. So welcome to the breakdown of the entire lore of Arcade Crainiacs so far. Welcome to the breakdown. This is where I talk about the entire lore of the series. I'm not going to do it in song, but point is, this is where I'm going to talk about the entire series, start to finish. I'm going to talk about the entire lore, backstories, how the timeline does link together, even the videos that happened before I dropped my lore video, because they're still canon, except the unmasking videos. The unmasking videos are the only non-canon videos that are on their channel. Yes, the arcade videos that they made before, and the origin behind their name, is still canon, as you'll see. So, Edward, Nicole, and Bald Guy are the main protagonists. Edward used to be a sports kid, but was very scrawny and wasn't very good, and never got a girlfriend, until he met Nicole. They went to arcade down the road from their school and fell in love almost instantly. She got a little jealous whenever he flirted with boys, but she knew it was part of his character. When they were adults, they moved into a seemingly innocent apartment, but it was actually home to a bald guy, which they saw sometimes and got scared by. Eventually, they set up their stuff, but what Edward didn't expect was for his computer to have a hidden server room full of computer code that could take physical form, mostly famous characters, which had only one goal: making their lives hell. One night, while Ed was asleep, Bald Guy snuck onto his computer and found the server room. He was cursed by the EXEs, and if he spoke, he would die. He had to be a spy for them and tell the EXEs where they went. If he helped them, he would die. Bald Guy didn't want to die, so he accepted, pretending to be asleep to throw them off. Eventually, Edward and Nicole began recording their findings on their YouTube channel, which before was used to record videos in the arcade, the place they met. Eventually, two paranormal investigators called Agent Gabriel and Agent Daniel began to study Edward and Nicole, eventually going to meet them personally. But a bit before that, they had a friend named Lissy, helping them out. She found herself fascinated by the Chuck E. Cheese character, but so did Nicole. Off camera, they had an argument and left off on a sour note. While walking home, she found a glitching portal, which led her to the server, where she met all the EXEs and was interrogated by the imposter, second ruler of the server, besides Chuck E. Cheese. Nicole, who had been chasing after her to apologise, also found the portal, and was instead interrogated by John Koo, who struck a deal with Nicole. She agreed, and he did this without anyone's knowledge. Lissy, on the other hand, agreed to work for them as long as she was allowed to go and tamper with some stuff, like, for example, the dead mean door. That was her, and the animatronics. The imposter agreed, and Lissy got to work, making potion, making rooms, attaching pictures to the wall, and helping in the creation of cursed food, which was sent to Bald Guy to be delivered. But as of recent, he has that role of delivering has been taken over by someone else. She did all this in the hopes of impressing Chuck E. Cheese, but it never worked. Meanwhile, the KGA and the Crainiac crew were working together to solve the mystery. Eventually, the KGA began helping the EXEs to gain answers, but were kidnapped and turned into backups, just in case the character died, or needed someone to cover while they did something else. John Koo remembered his deal with Nicole and started rebelling, as he believed his leaders had gone soft. He snuck potions out and tried to steal Chucky's girl. Luca kidnapped Nicole for a meeting after getting the truth out of John Koo, after he was choked out by Chucky. But Luca had ran out of energy and had to lie down. He then had to get an assist from a backup door, that was Agent Daniel. Lissy, who also helped out setting up the shrine, not expecting to see a former co-worker, she informed Chuck E. Cheese, who was down at the basketball court, that he's here and to kill on sight. But Chuck E. Cheese was actually Agent Gabriel, and who did as he was told and killed the Bald Guy on sight after getting dunked on by Edward. Bald Guy had gained powers from being with the EXEs and knew that the Chuck E. Cheese stood before him was backup, but was then killed and almost sent to heaven. But Edward came in clutch and gave Bald Guy the magical Michael Jordan jersey that made him good at b-ball. From now on, Bald Guy sees Ed and Nikki as his parents, despite being probably older than both of them. Daniel Dora then sent Edward a letter the next day at 3 AM, because that's when they're allowed to be out of the server boundaries. The leaders are given exceptions as their rulers. Edward, after a series of notes and subliminal messaging, finds a mystery. Being foreshadowed is called a dumb bum and told to eat these eggs, and kidnapped by Dora. It hit 4 AM and Dora had to be called back before being able to make their scrambled Edward. The next day, Edward watches face down too and becomes a horrible father figure, shotgunning over his son with 0 sugar squirts and not realising that Bald Guy is officially moving in. He gets tested by Agent Gabriel as a Chuck E. Cheese backup and fails being attacked. Bald Guy comes in for the stage after Nicole turns off the camera. And finally, Lissy gets a chance to impress Chucky and fails horribly, making Chucky more concerned. That is the whole Arcade Crainiacs storyline so far. This has been a nightmare to edit. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you at 2.98 mil. By the way, everyone Nicole, feel free to comment, prove my theories, disprove my theories. I don't care. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.